Hi, my name is Courtney Wagner, and for my Communication Assessment and Analysis assignment for MCOM 172, I'm going to examine this brochure on the Lutheran Campus Center. The first thing I looked at when I picked up this brochure was its logo. I think its logo is a good example of the gestalt theory, which we talked about this week, meaning they take parts and together it makes a meaningful whole. So I think that the two people are the parts, and when they come together they make the heart, which I think is a really good example of gestalt, and really to show the meaning and how we come together and we can also love and praise God together. Now I'm going to talk about the things I like throughout the whole brochure. The first thing is the picture on the front. For me, I think what catches my eye to grab a brochure or intrigue me into it is seeing people or something that jumps out at you, because I know if I see a familiar face, I'm more likely to pick it up and look at it and be interested than something that really doesn't have a picture or anything eye-catching on it, and most of the time people will just walk by it. So I think the fact that they added a picture on the front helps out a lot and is a great technique to use. The next thing I like about the brochure is the quote at the top in the bright green heading. I like how the color catches your eye and makes you want to read it because it does have a good meaning behind it. It says, "God, who got you started on this spiritual adventure, shares with us the life of God's Son and our Master, Jesus. God will never give up on you. Never forget that." And I think that has a great meaning and just lets people know that if they come there, God is always there and will help you through anything that comes your way. Another thing I like is on the inside there are more photos showing people from the center. I do think they could have used more action shots like this one. They're actually doing something, unlike this one and this one. They're kind of just smiling and it's just like a group photo. So I think a way that they could improve their brochure is using more action shots and like showing what they do while you're here, or like showing them helping out. Something more than just a group photo. I mean, pictures are good, but they could have used better photos. Another thing I liked is how they explain what the Lutheran Campus Center is at the very beginning of the brochure, so you can get familiar with it. They also show financial goals, which their financial goals, their annual goal is $175,000, which would make it possible to fund a full-time pastor, a part-time ministry administrator, and additional support staff, additional space for growing participation in the ministry, and resources for programming, is like retreats, service trips, worship aids, and study materials. I think that will help people donate more because they know what their money is going to versus not knowing and just giving it. Also, I think it might help to get more donations out of the people that love to help and they see what they need, so they'll want to help them. So I think that's actually a good thing that they put on their brochure to help them out. Also, on the very back, they list the address, the phone number, email, website, and Facebook page, so you can go check out those if you're more interested. So I think that's like a great touch, final touch kind of, that they have on their brochure as well. Now, there are some shortcomings within this brochure that I don't really like or think they should change. Starting with the background photo, it's like a field. I don't know, to me it's just kind of distracting because at first I was trying to figure out what it was and like I wasn't really paying attention to what was in the brochure at first. So that's just my opinion. If I were going to make it, I would have either had the words in like boxes, like make them pop out more, or just make the background a single color. The last thing I don't really like about the brochure is this section on this side, which it's just one sentences from people about what has the Lutheran Campus Center meant to them. I mean, one or two would be nice, but I don't think they need this whole section. They could have maybe used that space for something else. And I also think that if they have like dates where they have projects or retreats that they're going to be going on, that would have been helpful to put on the brochure or activities so people know when to go in times. I think that'd be another great thing. Otherwise, I think they did a good job with their brochure and I was very impressed.